Well, so cool that Colorado has some ties to the UFC. Well, if you are a fan of the sport, there's a new flick you might want to check out. Well, earlier, Dani caught up with some of the stars. Here's that chat.
Well, Shaz, Farhan, I'm so honored to be able to chat with you guys today. What you guys do is so incredible. I can't even imagine what you put your bodies through to be able to get to the incredible feats and amazing things that you do. But Shaz, I want to start with you. You wore so many hats to be able to pull this off. What was it like being in the movie, directing it, writing it? Tell me everything, all about it.
Well, it was challenging, but it was extremely joyous at the same time. I really enjoyed it because I'm inspired by cinema, like in the original days, like the Chaplin days, when they used to do everything themselves because, you know, there was no other way to do it. And I felt that in the beginning there wasn't a director attached, but because of COVID and other obstacles, I had to take the reins, and I'm so glad because I got to really say everything I wanted to say in the film. And yeah, it was for me the challenging aspect was to be able to tell the story exactly the way I felt that needed to be told, like the frame that I was imagining and kind of fitting it into that frame, but also allowing all the happy accidents that were happening along the way with these great performances that were coming, these great accidents on sets, and just making sure that we're getting exactly what we want.
I got some fights coming up and I wanted to come here and train. I thought maybe you could help me.
You did not come here to train. You were desperate for answers about your father, your brother, and you.
Farhan, I want to come to you. What was it about the script, would you say, that drew you to this project?
First of all, I think it's a beautiful story of this young man who has all the talent, all the skills, all the technique, coming up in this world of MMA. But I think what he lacks and what really attracted me to the script was how does this character, the protagonist played by Shaz Ibi, how does this guy find his spiritual center? And the way my character is designed, I think that is the biggest challenge of how does my character bring this young man and makes him realize who he really is. And I think that's the greatest message of this film, which is that you can have all the skill and you can have all the technique, but if you're lacking the spiritual center, then you're not living up to your full potential. And I think that was the biggest challenge, and I think the beauty of the script.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being able to see that again play out, especially, like you said, the message coming through, I think for a lot of the viewers is going to be incredible. Now, Shaz, this is obviously a very physically challenging movie. When you talk about MMA and everything that goes into it, what was training like to get, you and everybody ready to be able to really showcase in this film?
Yeah, training was ridiculous. The first 2 years were just rough.
I'm a martial artist.
I was in a constant just like daze because it is a very demanding sport, but meeting these fighters, MMA fighters, I had so much respect for them that there was no way that I could shortchange it. You had to really become the martial artist to be believable, and especially if you're gonna be the best martial artist, and that's what the character is being portrayed as. So yeah, there was like, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, the 4 major disciplines. And then, I even got into Taekwondo, a little bit Kung Fu, just taking it all in. And our stunt coordinator, Jason Bukic, was, very adamant that we show it realistically too. So we just nerded out on making sure we do that. So the only way to do that was to be able to do the moves myself. So, and I had some great sparring partners too, Ryan Spatafor, Philippe Prosper, and all the other great actors that were part of the journey of the film.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we cannot wait to see it. Thank you so much for giving us a sneak peek into what goes on behind the scenes. It just makes it so much more impressive when we see it on screen. So thank you guys again for taking the time.
I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you for having us.
Maybe to know where to go, we need to know where we've been.
And you can catch The Martial Artist on the big screen. It hits theaters Friday, April the 4th.